Thunder cracked across the midnight sky. The airplane shuddered, lightning flashing, lighting up terrified faces. Juliane Köpke clutched her seat, her mother beside her. Rain battered the windows. Suddenly, a blinding bolt struck the wing. The aircraft lurched violently. She felt the seatbelt bite into her waist. Then, the fuselage ripped open, a deafening rush of wind. Juliane was sucked out, spinning, tumbling, falling, and then blackness. Silence except for the echo of screams swallowed by the storm. Juliane awoke to sunlight stinging her face. The world was green, tangled, alive with insect hums. Pain pulsed in her collarbone. She lay half-buried beneath leaves, still strapped to her seat, blood streaking her arm. One shoe was gone. Her glasses lost. She called for her mother. Only the jungle answered. Against all odds, Juliane had survived. Now a greater trial awaited. Juliane staggered to her feet, dizzy and weak. The jungle floor pressed close, roots and vines tripping her every step. Her arm throbbed, blood crusted in her hair. She called for her mother, but no answer. Insects crawled beneath her clothes, biting and stinging. She swatted at them, but they kept coming. Hunger gnawed at her stomach. Her tongue felt thick and dry. She remembered. Find water first. Soon she found a stream and drank, hope returning. Night fell quickly in the Amazon. Darkness pressed in, absolute and suffocating. Juliane huddled beneath the roots of a tree, shivering. Mosquitoes swarmed her face. The jungle pulsed with life. Chirps, croaks, distant howls. Each sound was a threat and a comfort. Daylight brought searing heat. Her wounds throbbed, her skin blistered. She watched ants crawl over her legs, felt them bite. Exhaustion dragged at her, but she forced herself onward. Each day she followed the little stream, stepping over fallen logs and wading through muddy banks. She searched for food, but found only scraps. A few candies from her flight bag. They tasted of home, a reminder of everything lost. Hunger grew sharper. Her stomach cramped. Still, she pressed on, guided by hope and instinct. The days blurred together, marked only by pain, thirst, and the endless green. Yet each sunrise meant she had survived another night. Juliane lost track of time. Every muscle ached. Her feet were swollen, blistered and raw from days of walking in a single sandal. Her injured collarbone burned. The jungle felt endless, like a green prison with no escape. Each night brought fresh terror, unknown eyes watching from the shadows. She longed for her mother. Sometimes she thought she heard voices, but it was only the wind. Loneliness pressed down on her, heavy as the humid air. Her mind wandered to home, to safety, to the world she had lost in a single moment of chaos. She almost gave up. The pain, hunger and fear weighed on her spirit like stones. But each morning she forced herself to rise. She remembered her father's words. Never give up. Nature is harsh, but it can also show mercy. The jungle tested her every minute, but she refused to let it defeat her. On the 10th day, Julianne's strength was nearly spent. Her wounds, now infected, oozed pus. Maggots crawled inside a deep cut on her arm. She stumbled along the stream, hope flickering like a dying candle. Then she saw it, a small boat half hidden on the muddy bank. Nearby, a rough wooden hut. Relief crashed over her like a tidal wave. She crawled toward the shelter, tears streaming down her face. The boat was real. The hut was real. She was not alone in the world. Inside, she found a can of gasoline. Remembering her father's advice, she poured some over her wounds. The pain was white-hot, unbearable. But the maggots rose to the surface, and she picked them out, fighting nausea and fear with every breath. She lay down on the wooden floor, spent. For the first time, hope felt stronger than terror. Julianne drifted in and out of sleep, delirious with fever and exhaustion. She did not know how long she lay in the hut, waiting. Then voices broke the silence. 3 men, local fishermen and woodcutters, stepped out of the forest. They stared in shock at the girl, battered and alone. Their faces softened with concern. They spoke gently, offering water and food. She tried to answer, her voice barely more than a whisper. Tears of relief filled her eyes. Hands lifted her, carried her to the boat. For the first time, warmth replaced cold. Safety replaced fear. They treated her wounds as best they could, wrapping her arm, covering her with a blanket. As they paddled down the river, Julianne realized she was saved. The jungle, so hostile and endless, shrank behind her. Her ordeal was ending. The miracle of her survival was just beginning to dawn. Julianne's journey back to civilization was slow. Every jolt of the boat hurt her bruised body. But she felt lighter with every bend in the river, every mile away from the cruel heart of the jungle. The men spoke to her softly, their kindness a balm. At last, she reached a small town. Doctors treated her wounds. News of her survival spread. She learned the truth. She was the only one to make it out alive from Flight 508. Grief for her mother and the others washed over her, but also gratitude. She had been given a second chance. As the sun rose over the Amazon, painting the sky with gold and pink, Julianne sat quietly. She listened to the river's song, felt the breeze on her skin. The terror was gone, replaced by awe, for the power of nature, for human resilience, for the miracle of life. The nightmare had ended. She had survived the impossible. Juliana Koipka's survival was not just luck. It was courage, knowledge, and hope. She faced the jungle's worst hunger, pain, loneliness. Each day she found the strength to go on. She trusted her instincts, remembered what she had learned, and never gave up. Her story is more than a tale of disaster. It is a lesson for all of us. Nature is fierce, but so is the human spirit. Survival is not about being fearless. It is about fighting through fear, step by painful step, when all seems lost. In the green inferno of the Amazon, Julianne discovered what she was made of. She emerged stronger, scarred but alive. The jungle could not take her will to live. The miracle was not just that she survived, but how she did it. With courage, hope, and a spirit that would not break.